Hello students, today let us begin chapter 12 Reproduction in Plants. To produce its kind is a characteristic of all living organisms. You have already learnt this in class 6. The production of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. But how do plants reproduce? There are different modes of reproduction in plants which we shall learn in this chapter. As you have learned in previous standards, all living organisms have a characteristics that they can produce their own kind. This production of offspring from their parents is called reproduction. We have the definition of reproduction over here. The production of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. So in this chapter, we will be discussing about reproduction in plants and different modes of reproduction in them. Modes of reproduction. In class 6, you learned about different parts of a flowering plant. Try to list the various parts of a plant and write the functions of each. Most plants have roots, stems and leaves. These are called the vegetative parts of a plant. After a certain period of growth, most plants bear flowers. You may have seen the mango trees flowering in spring. It is these flowers that give rise to juicy mango fruit we enjoy in summer. We eat the fruits and usually discard the seeds. Seeds germinate and form new plants. So, what is the function of flowers in plants? Flowers perform the function of reproduction in plants. Flowers are the reproductive parts. In the previous classes, you have learned about different parts of a flowering plant. You can try to list the various parts of a plant and write down the functions of each of those parts. We all know that most plants have roots, stems and leaves. Now these are known as the vegetative parts of a plant. These are the parts of the plant that plays a major role in the life cycle of a plant, such as preparation of food, transportation of food, water and nutrients, etc. So examples of vegetative parts include roots, stems and leaves. Most plants can bear flowers after a certain period of time of their growth. You must have also seen mango trees that have flowers in them during the spring season. Now what happens to these flowers is they become fruits. That is, on a mango tree, these flowers give rise to juicy mango fruit that we mostly enjoy during the summer season. That's the season when the mangoes ripe. Now when we eat these fruits, we can all find seeds in them. We usually throw away the seeds in those fruits, but the function of the seed is that they germinate to form new plants. But what about flowers? What is the function of flowers in plants? The function of the flowers is to perform reproduction in plants. So what are flowers? They are the reproductive parts of the plants. Now these are the parts of the plants that play a major role in the reproduction process in plants, that is for producing new plants of the same kind. There are several ways by which plants produce their offspring. These are categorized into two types. First, asexual reproduction and second, sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants without seeds, whereas in sexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from seeds. So for producing new plants, that is for producing their offspring, there are two types of ways. First is asexual reproduction and the second is sexual reproduction. If the new plants are produced without using the seeds in a plant, then this process that generally involves leaves, stems, and roots which participate in the reproduction is called asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants, that is, their offspring, without seeds. On the other hand, in sexual reproduction, the new plants are produced with the help of seeds, that is, the new plants are produced from the seeds of a plant. So in this process, flowers of the plants participate in reproduction. First of all, let us discuss about asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, new plants are obtained without the production of seeds. Now, as we read, new plants are produced without the use of seeds. So, in this process, the other parts of the plant, that are the vegetative plants such as leaves, stem, and roots, are used and new offsprings are produced. So, such type of reproduction is called asexual reproduction. Vegetative propagation. It is a type of asexual reproduction in which new plants are produced from roots, stems, leaves, and buds. Since reproduction is through the vegetative parts of the plant, it is known as vegetative propagation. As the name suggests, this type of reproduction takes place with the help of vegetative parts of the plants. Only one parent can produce the identical offspring in vegetative reproduction. So the parts that are involved in vegetative reproduction are roots, stems, leaves, and buds of the plant. Now all these are the vegetative parts. So the reproduction from vegetative parts are called vegetative propagation. Activity 12.1. Cut a branch of rose or champa with a node. This piece of branch is termed a cutting. Bury the cutting in the soil. A node is a part of the stem or branch at which a leaf arises. Water the cutting every day and observe its growth. Observe and record the number of days taken for roots to come out and new leaves to arise. Try the same activity by growing money plant in a jar of water and record your observations. In figure 12.1, we can see stem cutting of rose. For performing the first activity, we require a branch of rose or champa plant. You need to cut a branch of rose or champa plant with a node in it. What is a node? It is a part of the stem or branch of a plant at which leaf arises, as it is shown in figure. So you need to cut a branch of rose or champa which has a node. This piece of branch is called a cutting. Next, you have to bury the cutting in the soil and water it every day. You need to observe and then record the number of days taken for the roots to come out and the number of days required for new leaves to arise. You can also perform the same activity by growing money plant in a jar of water. You can observe that a new plant is developed from the growth of the buried cutting. So we can conclude that from the stem, a new plant is developed by vegetative reproduction. You must have seen flower buds developing into flowers. Apart from flower buds, there are buds in the axil, which is point of attachment of the leaf at the node of leaves, which develop into shoots. These buds are called vegetative buds. A bud consists of a short stem around which immature overlapping leaves are present. vegetative buds can also give rise to new plants. So in this paragraph, we read about vegetative buds. Apart from flower buds, there are buds in the point of attachment of the leaf at the node, which is called axil. As shown in figure, in this way, there is a bud in the axil. These develop into shoots. Now, what are shoots? A young plant is often termed as shoot. So, sometimes buds are present in the leaves that are capable of developing into new plants. These are called vegetative buds. It consists of a short stem which are surrounded by immature overlapping leaves. Activity 12.2. Take a fresh potato. Observe the scars on it with the help of a magnifying glass. You may find bud or buds in them. These scars are also called eyes. Cut the potato into small portions, each with an eye, and bury them in the soil. Water the pieces regularly for a few days and observe their progress. What do you find? You require a fresh potato for performing this activity. You need to take a potato and observe its scars with the help of a magnifying glass. As shown in figure 12.2, you can see the potato plant sprouting from an eye after performing this activity. Now, while you do so by observing the scars with the help of a magnifying glass, you may find buds in these scars. These are also called as the eyes of the potato. Now, you need to cut the potato into small parts, and each part should have an eye in it. And then you need to bury these pieces into the soil and water them regularly. You need to observe them for a few days. When you do so, you can find a sprouting plant can be seen from the eye of a potato. So this is another example of vegetative reproduction. A new plant is produced from a bud by vegetative reproduction. Likewise, you can also grow ginger or turmeric. As it is shown in figure 12.3, ginger with new plants sprouting from it is given. So just like potato, in the same way ginger or turmeric can be grown. Bryophyllum sprout leaf plant has buds in the margins of leaves as shown in figure 12.4. If a leaf of this plant falls on a moist soil, each bud can give rise to a new plant. In figure 12.4, we are given the diagram of a leaf of Bryophyllum with buds in the margin. So, Bryophyllum is a leaf. It is a sprout leaf plant which has buds on the margins of the leaf. When a leaf of this plant falls on soil which is moist, then the buds on the margin, that is each bud on the margin, can turn into a new plant. Roots of some plants can also give rise to new plants. Sweet potatoes and dahlia are examples. So just like leaves, just like we saw for Bryophyllum leaf, roots can also give rise to new plants. Examples of such plants include sweet potato and dahlia. Plants such as cacti produce new plants when their parts get detached from the main plant body. Each detached part can grow into a new plant. So, for plants such as cacti, new plants are produced when some parts of the plant are detached. That is, they are separated from the main plant body. Now, each such separated or detached part can grow into a new plant. Plants produced by vegetative propagation take less time to grow and bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. The new plants are exact copies of the parent plant as they are produced from a single parent. Later in this chapter, you will learn that plants produced by sexual reproduction have characters of both the parents. Plants produce seeds as a result of sexual reproduction. So, in this paragraph, we read about the advantage of vegetative propagation. The plants that are produced with vegetative propagation grow faster than those that are produced with sexual reproduction. The plants that produce with vegetative reproduction have fruits and flowers ahead of time, that is, earlier. The plants that are produced have exactly the same characteristics as that of their parent plants because they only have a single parent. यानी कि जो plants vegetative reproduction से produce होते हैं, they only have a single parent. When we will discuss about sexual reproduction in plants, we will be able to understand that seeds are produced as a result of sexual reproduction in plants. Also, when a plant is produced by sexual reproduction, it will have the characters of both the parents.